I'm Guy Trainin from the University of Nebraska Lincoln.
And I'm Kimberly Ingraham-Beck from Gretna Public Schools.
And this is CS4NE. And today we're talking to a couple of students from Nullify. Tell us a little bit about Nullify.
Yeah, so Nullify is a student-run or group at UNO, and they focus on cybersecurity. So they focus on helping spread information about cybersecurity, but also not just at the collegiate level, but they also hold an event every year for high school students called a Capture the Flag, where it's a competition where students solve problems and get a key or a passphrase, which is called the flag. And so it's super fun.
And they often talk about it as CTF. So if you hear CTF, this is what they mean. And I'm really excited because I love the fact that students who are actually becoming professionals in cybersecurity, one of those areas that I know almost nothing about. So everything is a learning experience for me, at least. And I think for many teachers, if you just started with computer science and you just teaching programming and algorithms and those kind of things, cybersecurity sounds really far away, but it is an emerging field. It is exciting, and I'm excited to hear what they have to say. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience in cybersecurity.
So, hi, my name is Zaid Kakish. I'm a current senior at the University of Nebraska Omaha, pursuing a dual degree in computer science and cybersecurity. A little bit about my experience in cybersecurity. I'm currently working as an intern in the software engineering and a little bit of cybersecurity at MITRE. I started off my career as an intern at American National Bank, worked a lot with cybersecurity and auditing, and then moved here to MITRE now, where I am doing, and I'm really happy about the work I am doing.
Hello, I'm Tom Knudsen. I'm also a senior. I am major in cybersecurity, and I'll be graduating this May. I've been experiencing cybersecurity basically ever since high school. My high school had was a Cyber Patriots Club. It was through the Air Force where we mess with different operating systems and try to figure out some different challenges through them. Then in high school, I joined Nullify and been participating in the club. And then through work experience, this past summer, I worked at Insight, the National Counterterrorism Innovation Technology and Education Center over here on Scott campus. I worked in the Student Security Operations Center using Splunk and Cortex XDR to do threat hunts on the environment and create dashboards.
Very cool.
That's great.
So could you tell us a little bit about Nullify?
Yes, so Nullify is our cybersecurity club at UNO. We give talks twice a week. We do an introduction Wednesday talk where we introduce students to new tools in cybersecurity, just kind of get them dipping their toes into the field, messing around with different tools so they can learn more on the extracurricular side. On Fridays, we do our advanced talk where we covered more advanced tools. We talk about recent trends in the fields. For example, we did an RFID talk one time about radio frequency, how you could clone RFID. It was really fun to see. A lot of students were really interested. Just last week, we had a man-in-the-middle attack demo. I led that talk. It was really fun. Showed how you can eavesdrop onto different networks and listen in about the packets that are being sent and such. Other than that, we do a lot of capture the flag competitions. So we participate against other colleges, other universities, just other institutions across the US, and we participate in these capture the flag challenges, which essentially test our hacking skills. There are different categories: forensics, password cracking, open source intelligence, all you can think of about cybersecurity. And we participate in those challenges. We compete and we win prizes. We sometimes go to finals. It's a really fun challenge, and we really do those a lot at Nullify.
All right. So what are the primary goals of Nullify?
So our goal is to introduce students to cybersecurity if they are new. If they're already experienced, we're looking to build their skill set and help them improve in all aspects of cybersecurity. We also want students to connect with network professionals across the cybersecurity industry field. We host a lot of guest talks with students to help them connect more. So, for example, we had the Chief Information Security Officer at First National Technology Services come in and give a talk. We had Gallup come in and give a talk, and then we have a few other people from the cybersecurity industry that are coming to give talks this upcoming semester. So we have a cybersecurity manager from Productivity coming in to talk to students and introduce them about different aspects of cybersecurity, how AI also plays into cybersecurity, which is a really advancing field, and more. So we aim to really build that network with students and cybersecurity professionals. And then lastly, we want students to have fun in cybersecurity. That's why we introduced the CTFs. We want them to compete and have fun and really learn cybersecurity in that practical environment.
I would also like to add, we've had like come in and give talks. We also had the local FBI office come in and give a talk. One of the I think it was a computer scientist on their team. He is a Nullify alumni, so we've been able to keep in contact with him and bring him in to help give talks and like talk about federal workforce.
That's super cool. So speaking of your Capture the Flag event that you're hosting, what kind of challenges can high school students expect to encounter?
Yes, our Capture the Flag event will host 6 different categories. We are looking to do forensics, password cracking, log analysis, cryptography, OSINT, a little bit of miscellaneous as well. So all sorts of challenges across the cybersecurity industry. A lot of challenges that we see are going to be similar to things that we would compete in at the college and university level. So we are taking inspiration from challenges that we see and essentially writing our own challenges that we want to direct towards high schools and give them those challenges across all those categories, just to let them, dip their toes in all these different categories and cybersecurity that they might see. So we will be doing challenges, all sorts from easy to hard, and we will be providing the resources for the students to practice. And so when they come in for the day of the event, they are ready to go at a moment's notice. We will be providing the tools in the environments. So all the tools that they will use and learn will be on the machines that we provide them. And then, as I mentioned, the challenge will be easy to hard, and then we will have 5 challenges for each of the categories.
Awesome. And I didn't. When is the Nullify Capture the Flag for high school student events?
So the capture flag is right now scheduled for Saturday, March 15th. We are looking to have it from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Just have the students coming into PKI and participate there. We will be providing lunch and breakfast, and they will be spending the entire day there. We will also do 15-minute small talk intervals where officers of Nullify will give a talk about the different categories and a little bit about the tools they're going to use. So, for example, if we were talking about a password cracking category, we would have one of our officers talk about the tools such as Hashcat or John the Ripper, where they would just do a quick demo, cover what they are and how they could use them in the challenges. Other than that, the students will be participating in those challenges. We are going to have a total about 30 challenges. So students can expect to get really busy on Saturday with the challenges. Should be really fun, really excited. Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. I want to kind of zoom out a little bit and ask, why do you think cybersecurity is such a critical? I think we all know that it's critical because we're all trying to protect ourselves online, but why is it in such demand as a field?
I think it's in big demand because every place, everywhere needs security, whether it needs security protection. Data needs to be encrypted no matter where you are, whether it's by personally identifiable information or just anything that's very sensitive needs to be secured, and there needs to be a correct way of handling that and basically communicating with it. Yeah, any field just needs some sort of cybersecurity in it to protect it from outside threats over networks or just over the internet and anything like that.
And then I would like to also add one thing. You see a lot of data breaches that are happening. So, especially the medical field, you see a lot of people targeting ransomware towards the medical field to try and shut down the systems. This goes to show how really important cybersecurity is, because if you can shut down a medical environment for 2 days, that is really dangerous, and a lot of lives can be lost. So, with cybersecurity being, really important, we need to defend those systems and make it so that this attack never happens in the first place. So cybersecurity can really save lives if you look at it from really an outside field, especially like in the medical field. There's the financial field as well. You want to protect against uh, breaches with people's credit cards and information, so you don't want that fraud to happen. So cybersecurity really applies, and you see these attacks happening on a daily basis. So it is really more important now than ever.
Piggybacking off of that as well, not just like medical field or financial field, just any critical infrastructure. is always being targeted by data breaches. In the past, we've seen, what does it say? We've seen like get natural gas lines being targeted by ransomware attacks or breaches and stuff like that.
And we've seen school systems face the same thing. We've had actually, what was it, last year, a school system that had to close down because of ransomware. And they didn't have control over any of their data. Nothing worked. And so they actually asked the kids to stay home for a day or two until they got everything back online. So it hits multiple systems in ways that are hard to predict, but we all need that kind of protection to minimize everything. All right.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to high school students who are maybe interested in pursuing a career in cybersecurity?
I would say my biggest advice is start early. Do your research, explore the areas that you think you're interested in. Um, in high school, if I would give one advice to myself back in high school, is I would try and get into capture the flag competitions. These competitions really boosted my skill more than anything in cybersecurity. They will put you in that practical environment and get you set up. So, what I would recommend is look for open gyms that are open 24/7 for CTFs, practice some challenges. If there are some aspects, for example, you're interested in cracking passwords, for example, do some research on that. You can find a lot of cool things on that, and then maybe you can network into other different things. So if you want to build your own home lab, that could pique the interest in there, for example. Keep your mind open and do your research. If you're interested in something, make sure to look it up and really try and look into those capture the flag competitions.
I mean, I completely agree with you. I'd say always just try to learn something new, or go to try to find different categories of cybersecurity that you would find interesting or that you could see yourself doing for a career, and just start learning more about it. Some parts, like some aspects of cybersecurity, you may not like when it comes to me, I don't like doing um, any kind of like attack or like red teaming things. I more like to do policy compliance and going and like risk compliance and stuff like that. So find an aspect of cybersecurity that you could see yourself doing as a career and kind of try to stick with it and learn as much as you can about it.
That's great. And so we talked about what kids can do or what students can do. How can teachers and school better support students who are interested in exploring cybersecurity? So what's your message to teachers and principals and, curriculum specialists?
I would say try and introduce as much activities as you can with cyber to your students. So, if you find a CTF that you think they might be interested in, absolutely let them participate in that. When we participate in a lot of those national and international CTFs, we actually see a lot of high schools in there. So, for teachers, I would recommend, trying to do your research into events like that, and, maybe sign up a team for those events. I would also say probably network with different organizations across Omaha and Nebraska. There's a lot of people that offer cybersecurity insight. So we as Nullify have been trying to connect with schools across the Omaha and Lincoln area to talk about cyber awareness to their students. There's a lot of other organizations in Omaha that also do that. So I know ISC2 is a big chapter here in Omaha that they do. I think every 2 months they have a cybersecurity awareness talk. Different presenters will come and give different topics. I went to their meeting last week. It was really fun and I learned a lot. So I would say just try and network with those different organizations and, you know, introduce your students to those professionals and just build that network there, pique their interest in cybersecurity. It can be really fun.
I also recommend just try like if you have any STEM oriented oriented clubs or like classes, whether it's like robotics or something similar, try to incorporate cybersecurity topics within those clubs or within like any pure science classes, whether it's like getting into like a little bit of like password cracking or just like some intro level cybersecurity topics that you think the kids would enjoy and could actually like learn.
So you mentioned you've been speaking with some classes about cybersecurity topics from across the Omaha and Lincoln area. Is that something that teachers from outside of those areas can also take advantage of?
Absolutely, we can definitely make something work. So we are more than happy to come in and give a talk to your school and your students about cybersecurity, what we do at our club, things we see. We had one about 2 weeks ago, and it was like an hour long discussion. It was really fun. We chatted about cybersecurity. We really delved into RFID, amongst other things. So it was really fun. But yes, absolutely, we are open to connect with you and talk to your students about different things in cybersecurity. We will have to probably, if it's a 3-hour compute, for example, we will have to plan it ahead and schedule so we can make some, uh, we can just make some arrangements to work with that.
Awesome. So how can they get in touch with you?
So the best way is reach me by my email. So my email is zkakish, that's ZKAKISH at unomaha.com or .edu. So this is the best way to get in touch with me. I always check my UNO emails. With classes, I have to check them. So I also use that for other professional things. So one of them is HSCTF and talking to students across the different schools in Omaha and Lincoln. So that's the best way to reach out to me. Alternatively, we have our website, nullify.uno. We have a contact us page where you can send an email to our official Nullify email. We're still working on actually setting that up fully because we've had a few issues in the past, just with setting up an Outlook email and such. But we get those emails. The best way to contact me is through me. And if not, there's also that Nullify website and contact email.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
inviting
having
us.
us on the podcast. It was fun.
All right.
Wow, that was great. I really appreciate them taking the time to talk to us. Super cool learning that they're not only working on teaching people about cybersecurity in their university, but they're also expanding out. So if anyone wants them to come talk to their students about cybersecurity, even just to like give students a little intro into what cybersecurity is, definitely hit them up. Even if you're not anywhere close to the metro area, they will do virtual meetings as well. So definitely hit them up.
And what I learned, because for me, most of this is new, what I learned is that cybersecurity is a field that is emerging. It seems like AI is not solving that, and there's a need to a tremendous number of professionals. And obviously, because every organization that has an online presence needs somebody to help them with that, whether they're hiring it from the outside or they're hiring internally, there are lots of jobs in that area. And it's an area where we can help channel kids. And what I love about the Capture the Flag events is it's making it fun. And they actually talked about the fact that part of their goal with Nullify is making sure people are having fun. Because my worry is always people hear about cybersecurity and they're thinking, is this what I want to be excited about, or do I want to make a game? And it sounds like there's actually great opportunities to do important work, but also to really challenge yourself. And that's, again, an opportunity for students. There's definitely career paths. And so I was super happy to hear that students at the undergraduate level are getting engaged in getting other people interested and connecting them, because I think you and I as teachers can always talk about things, but when somebody who's much closer, who's just a couple of years removed from high school, is talking and saying, this is exciting, you want to do this, that's considerably more relevant.
They listen.
Yes. And so this was a great opportunity to talk once again about cybersecurity, and we'll see you next time on CS4NE.